Welcome to Calm Desk. There is a specific kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't fix. It shows up after conversations, after relationships, after trying. You don't feel angry. You don't even feel sad. You just feel empty because you keep giving and somehow it never comes back. Not in the way you hoped, not in the way you needed. And the confusing part is no one asked you to give this much. So, why does it hurt so deeply when you get so little in return? Let's talk about that. Giving too much isn't about generosity, it's about over functioning. It looks like always checking in first, always explaining yourself, always adjusting, always forgiving quickly, always being the understanding one. You become emotionally available before anyone earns that access. You give clarity to people who give confusion. You offer patience to people who offer inconsistency. And slowly, without noticing, you teach others something dangerous, that you will stay even when your needs are unmet. Not because you're weak, but because you learned early that love is something you prove. Most people who give too much weren't spoiled with care, they were trained to be easy, be helpful, be low maintenance, be grateful for crumbs. Maybe you learned that being needed was safer than being wanted. That if you were useful enough, kind enough, patient enough, you wouldn't be left. So you learned to anticipate needs before they were spoken. You learned to smooth tension before it became conflict. You learned to swallow disappointment so no one would feel uncomfortable. But here's the cost: when you give too much, you stop noticing when you're being deprived. You confuse endurance with loyalty and silence with peace. Here's the hard truth: people usually don't give less because they cannot, they give less because they don't have to. When someone knows you'll explain again, you'll forgive again, you'll wait again, they don't feel urgency. Your consistency becomes their excuse. Not everyone who takes from you is cruel. Some are simply unaware, others are comfortable, and some are only invested as long as it costs them nothing. This isn't about blaming them, it's about seeing the pattern clearly without romanticizing it. Resentment doesn't mean you're unkind, it means you've been self abandoning. It's what happens when your effort isn't acknowledged but is still expected. When you feel guilty for wanting reciprocity, when you start pulling away quietly instead of asking directly. Resentment is the emotional signal that says, this arrangement is no longer sustainable. Ignoring it doesn't make you noble, it makes you invisible to yourself. Balance isn't keeping score, it's alignment. It's noticing who checks on you without prompting, who adjusts when you speak up, who respects your no, who gives without negotiation. Balanced relationships feel calmer. They're less explaining, less convincing, less hoping. You don't have to perform care, it's simply there. And when it's not, you don't force it. You step back, not to punish, but to protect. Giving less doesn't make you cold, it makes you selective. You stop offering your energy to people who treat it as unlimited. You give where there is response, where effort meets effort. You learn this quiet rule: if giving drains you, It's not generosity anymore, it's self neglect. You were never asking for too much, you were just asking the wrong people. And when you stop overgiving, something surprising happens. The right connections don't disappear, they finally become visible.